Well, the NFL season kicks off tonight, and fan interest is high. But there is one potential warning sign that might not bode well for the league's distant future. Eric Chemi has that story. Eric.
That's right, Tyler. So take a look at high school football participation. It's on the decline across America, dropping 3% just last year alone. Its fifth straight annual decline. It's now down to its lowest level in 20 years, down 10% from peaking a decade ago. In that time, more than 40 states have seen declines. The only growth has come from the South and Mountain West regions. Safety concerns run rampant in the sport, where concussions remain an unsolved problem, and we've seen a growing list of pros choosing to quit early rather than destroy their bodies. Many states are working on legislation to limit or even eliminate youth tackle football. Data from Kantar shows a significant drop in young sports fans who say they are a fan of the NFL compared to Gen X and baby boomer sports fans. The NFL, they're hoping to drive growth by supporting youth football initiatives, including other formats like smaller 8-on-8 teams, even flag football. The NFL is also trying to get flag football added to the Olympics. The kids who play today, they are the fans of the future. And while we might not see the impact in this year's TV ratings, it's definitely a long-term trend that bears watching.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a very controversial topic in my town and all around. All right, NBC has the first game tonight when the Chicago Bears host the Green Bay Packers out at Soldier Field in Chicago. Mike Tirico of NBC Sports is in Chicago for the big game. He, of course, is the host of Football Night in America for NBC. Mike, great to have you back. Glad to see you.
Good to be back with you, Tyler. Well, great to be here. Great to get the season started.
Oh, it really is. And what better rivalry to begin it with than the Packers and the Bears, one of the oldest and most storied in the game, and taking place at a time when I think both teams are expected to be pretty good this year.
Especially the Bears. Bears were 12-4 last year. If they had better field goal kicking, they may have been in the NFC Championship game. They were that good, and the expectations are very high around here. Their rookie coach last year was the coach of the year. They have one of the transformative defensive players in the league in Khalil Mack. Everything pointing in the right direction, but expectations, as we know, it's so hard to repeat in sports. And on the Green Bay side, new head coach, I should say, for quarterback Aaron Rodgers for the first time in his career. We'll see how Matt LaFleur, who was Tennessee's offensive coordinator last year, does in his rookie year as a head coach.
And, of course, last year they both opened the season in Green Bay, and
yes.
I believe Rodgers was a little bit injured, and that injury nagged him throughout the year. Let's go back to Eric Chemi's piece about youth participation, and let me put it in a broader context. As the NFL begins its 100th season, what is, from where you sit as a student of the game, what is the state of the game, and how worried, if at all, is the NFL about declining youth participation?
I don't know if worry is the term. I think they would use aware is the term. And Tyler, I'll point to rules changes that have happened. They have put a lot of dollars, a lot of resources into understanding all the impacts of a variety of things, the amount of practice for players, head contact. They've made many rules that have been towards health and safety. We do a presentation with the league every year on new rules, and health and safety for the players has been a significant increase in the percentage of that presentation from the league. They are serious about it, and I think it's made a difference. Concussion numbers within the league are down, and they know that youth football looks to the NFL for leadership and guidance. And I think from helmet technology all the way through education, they've done more than they ever have. This is an interesting one, Tyler. There's now an NFL Way to Play award, which rewards people for proper form tackling and the healthy way to do business on the football field.
Interesting.
And this year, for the first time, that's going to go to the high school level. So they're aware of the numbers out there, and they're doing their best to make the game as safe as possible.
Mike, I'm curious about some of the big money that's still flying around here for these TV deals. You know, the ratings were up 5% last year, and there's a lot of speculation about who might own these franchises, let's call them, in the future. Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football and the Thursday pack. I mean, everything could potentially be up for grabs once we kind of spin forward several years. And there's some interest on the owner's part, I guess, to get this labor deal figured out. What do we need to watch for there?
Well, it's the whole triangulation of the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement with the players and the players union and the league, and of course the media negotiations that will be coming up. over the next few years, which all of us will have a keen interest in, given our own lives and what we do for a living. But the league seems to be healthy. When you start to look at business deals that were done, new business deals, like Oakley, the sunglass company, is now doing face shields for the league. They've done deals with casinos. Sports betting is now no longer taboo in conversation with the league. Genesis, the automaker. So a variety of new business with the league, in addition to the growth, as you mentioned, in the ratings. I think the concern this time last year of the health of the league has been quieted a little bit. It seems to be a pretty healthy place right now compared to 15, 18 months ago.
One asterisk to that caught my attention is the fact that while ratings were up last year, home game attendance is actually at its lowest average level since 2010. Now, again, does that speak to the success of the TV product? Is there some reason why? And I know it's not just specific to football. It sounds like, baseball and some others are dealing with this issue of people not quite showing up in force to the games like they used to.
Well, selfishly, I think we should all take credit. The TV product is so darn good, nobody wants to miss it. But it is part of the issue and part of the problem. And I think we're seeing stadiums reduce some of their seating capacity, change seating areas to those areas where you can hang out at tabletop bars, if you will, watch the game on a big screen, bounce back and forth. I think the consumer has changed, and what the league is doing is they're realizing people don't want to sit in a narrow seat all the time. They want to find different places to enjoy their experience. There is still nothing like being at a game, and I think that game enhancement, or the enhancement, I should say, in-game entertainment is a significant place. But I'm going to say that it's all full credit to the people who work in the production trucks of Sunday Night Football, et cetera, because they do such a good job presenting the game on TV.
You've covered every sport from golf to the NFL, and there's nothing like an NFL Sunday afternoon or an NFL evening like you guys are going to have tonight. Let's talk about some of the controversies. The past couple of years, Mike, the NFL has been dogged by controversies, whether it was Kaepernick or Ray Rice or other kinds of off-field or intrusionary episodes, and today we get news that Antonio Brown, the somewhat controversial wideout for the Raiders, may have gotten involved in an altercation yesterday with his general manager. Talk to us a little bit about that and how the NFL feels about these sort of outside intrusions into the game going into this year. It seems a little calmer, Antonio Brown notwithstanding.
Yeah, the league overall, I think over the last couple of years, whether it's been the social justice space or individual players, there's been less of a bubble up of these issues. Certainly the president was involved in the Kaepernick story a couple of years ago. That was not as much of an issue last year. It doesn't mean the conversations still don't happen. There has been pretty significant space covered and grown in the social justice. The players' voices, I think, Tyler, are being heard more now than ever before. And in the long run, it's probably a good thing for connecting with fans. But you're always going to have an Antonio Brown who's become somewhat mercurial in the way he has tried to move from Pittsburgh to Oakland.
That is beautifully put, Mike. Beautifully put. Somewhat mercurial. Love it.
My old TV partner, John Gruden, probably has a different word for what's going on with Antonio right now. But it has been frustrating for them. He's a very talented player, and he's throwing away millions of dollars if he doesn't figure out that he needs to be more connected and part of the team and not an individual. Because at some point, they give up on guys. Coaches say, I can't fix it. I don't want it in my locker room.
Final question for you. The NFL season last year at the end was plagued by what some people think was the worst single refereed call in history, a non-pass interference call. What has the league done to address that issue, and what other kinds of rule changes or procedural changes should we expect going into this year? Quick.
Tyler, that's the big one, and I think you hit it. For the first time starting tonight, a flag can be thrown on a judgment call, pass interference, and replay back in New York at 345 Park Avenue can say, nope, we're going to pick up that flag, or one should have been thrown and we're going to add a flag to this call in certain situations with a challenge from a coach or in the last 2 minutes by the replay booth. Very different in the history of the league, something to watch this first couple of weeks of the season.